Law enforcement this morning is quietly monitoring the armed occupation of an Oregon wildlife refuge. An anti-government group is protesting the sentence of a father and son for setting fires on federal land. They return to prison Monday. John Blackstone is at the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, where there is no sign of any action against the protesters. John, good morning.
Good morning, and it is really hard to call this a standoff here. So far, authorities have made no attempt to reclaim the refuge, and there doesn't seem to be any urgent reason for them to do so. There are no hostages and no one has been hurt. But there are concerns that the armed takeover here is actually hurting the ranchers' case.
This began as a peaceful protest. It took an unfortunate turn when some of those folks broke off and began an armed occupation of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge.
There was not a single law enforcement officer to be seen for miles in the wilderness that surrounds the Wildlife Refuge headquarters. But Harney County Sheriff David Ward had a message for those occupying it.
You said you were here to help the citizens of Harney County. That help ended when a peaceful protest became an armed occupation. The Hammonds have turned themselves in. It's time for you to leave our community.
The armed group says it has no plans to leave. They even showed us around the compound they took over.
How many people are living in here?
They refuse to say how many have joined the group they call Citizens for Constitutional Freedom. Leader Ammon Bundy tweeted, "We have no intentions of using force upon anyone, but if force is used against us, we will defend ourselves." They're demanding an inquiry into why ranchers Dwight and Stephen Hammond were ordered back to prison for setting fires on federal land after they'd already served prison time.
It has been left to us to decide whether we allow these things to go on or whether we make a stand so they will not happen to other people across this country.
But many in the area who support the Hammonds oppose the occupation.
It's so imperative that we find ways to address these issues that are peaceful, that are legal, and that are productive. So that kind of leaves the occupiers out.
Other critics of the occupation include naturalists and bird-watching groups. This refuge is part of the migratory route called the Pacific Flyway. It's an important resting place and nesting grounds for more than 300 species of birds. Nora?
All right, John, thank you so much.